Hello everybody, YouTube, it's TDI guy. So I got my my 96 Passat. It's October the 12th. It's getting cold here in Wisconsin, so I just want to give a little story and then talk about something that I do to get my car ready for the winter months. So a few years ago I had problems with I used to have, before this 96 Passat wagon, I had a different 96 Passat wagon, and I had one winter that was just terrible. Whenever the temperature, if it was 30 degrees, I would have no issues, but when it got down to about 20 or lower, I would have problems with my car gelling up. And I wasn't driving or anything, and it would just... And then it would warm up, and then I wouldn't have issues, and then it would get cold again, and my car would gel up, and it was very frustrating. I changed my filters, and I wasn't sure what to do, and kind of looking back, I have more of an idea of what it was and a suspicion, but what I believed happened is, on these cars, you have your fuel filter here, and then it goes down underneath the car, and then it comes back up and goes into the tank in the back of the car. Well, that's like a valley, and if you know anything about water or moisture, it always goes to the lowest point. And what I believe I had is I had moisture sitting in the bottom in that valley. It didn't come up and out. It wasn't in the filter, and it wasn't down by the tank, and it would just sit underneath the car there. And that caused me so much grief and havoc that one winter and I just eventually I thought of a way to kind of bypass and get around and just get me through that winter. And I've actually been doing this every year since with my cars. And what I do is I actually run a separate fuel line, and people might think it's tacky, but I've never had an issue with fuel gelling up since I've started doing this. And what I do in these winter months is I'll actually just take the cover off of the fuel tank. And what I do is I run a separate fuel line inside the cab of the car. So you can see it. Here it goes around. And it runs long and down the passenger side of the car. There it is, running down and through, up into the front, and then I just, goes through the firewall. And comes up and out and goes into my fuel filter. And ever since I've started doing this, I've never had a problem with my car gelling up. And this is my daily driver. It's this car's over 20 years old. It's no gem, but it still gets me excellent fuel economy and gets me back. And I need it to get back and forth to work and get me around. I mean, it's my only car that I drive, so I can't afford to be on the side of the road, and I just can't afford that. Nobody wants to be in that situation. And ever since I've started doing this, I've never had a problem. So if you ever have issues with your fuel gelling up, this might be something to consider. If you're not willing to put a hole in your firewall, well then I guess this isn't going to be a solution for you. But like I said, this is my daily driver. There's nothing fancy about this car, and it gets me where it needs to go. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there. I'm going to probably make another video in a little while just talking about cold weather starting tips, things I look for. So just be ready for that to come out in a little bit. Thanks, bye.